I'll walk you through the project. First thing you're going to do obviously is launch Reaper. And it's telling me that my other project can't be found. That's fine. Reaper's launched, and I'm going to save it first. And I want to make sure in this case I save it to the desktop. So I'm going to call this week 7 Fenninger. And it's saved to the desktop. There it is. So first thing I want to do with this is I want to get my virtual MIDI keyboard. So you're going to go to the View pull-down menu, and you're going to select Virtual MIDI Keyboard. And I'll talk a little bit more about this when we get the Terrell in here. So we're going to load the Terrell onto a track. So we're going to go to Track, and we're going to go to Insert Instrument, Virtual Instrument on New Track. In this case, I'm going to make sure I select Instruments from all my plugins, and I'm going to select the AU. I talked about Mac can do AU or VST, PC can use VST. So I'm selecting the Terrell N6, and there it is. It's launched. Now, if you go down and play your virtual keyboard, you'll get the default sound for the Terrell. Now, if you want to change octaves, and for those of you who don't know what octaves are, basically it's going up 8 steps. All you have to use is the arrow keys on your keyboard. So if you notice, I have this hovered on C4. If I use the arrow key, it'll change to C5, up an octave, up an octave, up an octave. So you can change octaves that way, getting higher or lower sounds on your keyboard. The other thing you want to make sure is this is default. The MIDI channel set to 1. It should default to that. So, okay, we're going to load a sound. So the easiest way to do this, you could go to presets, but it's easier if you just click on the main sound menu here, and you'll get a pull-down menu. In this case, I'm going to select my lovely glitter, which I know and love, and there it is. So I'm going to mess around with the parameters that I discussed, and I'm going to change my sound just by detuning here. So I've changed it into some lovely weird thing. When you do this, you might want to experiment with sounds that you think will work in a video game. When we upload our video game, it's going to be a sci-fi type stealth game, so keep that in mind. It'll make more sense once you look at the game that we're going to be putting some music to. So once I've done this and I've saved my sound, I've liked it, and you may want to write down what you've tweaked, because you're going to sort of explain to that when you post this a little bit what you tweaked, and you're going to go to Save. In this case, I'm going to call this Rick 17 or something. I've probably done this a billion times, so, and I'm going to save it. You don't have to do this, but if you really like the sound, it'll now wind up in your presets menu. So there it is right there. So once I've done that, I can actually close this out, and I'm going to record this sound. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the record button right here, and you don't have to record a lot. Maybe, well, I'll give you an idea. So make sure I'm go to the start of my project. I've hit record, and I'm just going to hit spacebar to stop, and you're going to get this pull down menu, select files to save. In this case, you're going to save all. And there it is. Now, when you play back hitting the spacebar, you'll hear your lovely sound. Next thing I want to do is I want to render this file. So make sure that this is selected, that you're rewound back to the beginning, and you're going to go up to File, and you're going to go to Render. Now in this case, my file name is going to be Week 7 Fenninger, and that's okay, and it's going to be saved to my folder because I've already created my folder. So everything's pretty much, this can all stay the same. You're going to save it as a WAV file, and you're going to go down here to Render One File. And there it is. You'll get this next menu that will show that it's actually rendered. You're going to close this, and I'm just going to collapse Reaper down into the dock. And then if you go to your folder right here on the desktop, double click it, there's your WAV file. So you can actually hit the spacebar to play it. And there's my sound. This is the file that you're going to be posting on Moodle along with a brief description of what sound you used and how you tweaked it. So hopefully this will make sense.